All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Mike Sternberg, Director of Sales at 3PL Systems and co-host of 3PL Live Sessions. I'm actually riding solo this morning as far as hosting goes. Cameron has been pulled into some other things, but I am excited to be joined today by Brad Perling, co-founder and CEO of bitfreighter. Morning, Brad.
Morning. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. How was this morning? You were at your daughter's performance this morning, right?
Yep. Just got back from it. She's 4. It was super cute.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, let's kick this off. Tell me a little about who's Brad Perling. What do what's your journey in logistics and how did it lead you to where you are today, founding bitfreighter a couple years ago, and just kind of give me that whole timeline.
For sure. So, when I think about what kind of led me into logistics, I had a degree in aerospace operations, and my buddy and I moved out to Nashville, and he got a job off Craigslist, and they essentially recruited me. Said that this was 2010. They drank beers on Friday, and um, might as well go get a job while I wait on an aerospace job to pop up. And
You're like
15 years
22 or
later,
23.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, exactly. And it sounded like a fun time. So yeah, I mean, it hooked me right away. It was I was lucky to land at a company that had tremendous leadership and really saw the potential in me and helped me grow. And I like to say that I was there for 5.5 years at a brokerage, and I got my MBA in logistics from those guys. So really grateful. And you know, I you know I think for me, who I am, I think that my qualities. I'm not the smartest guy, but uh, persistence and consistency, and I believe in a quote I heard a long time ago, which is luck is a product of hard work.
Mm,
And I consider myself really lucky. I just kind of fall into things. And I think that's kind of, you just got to focus on what you want. And through focusing on things, the thing that you focus on will ultimately be your success. So
100%. 100%. When did you guys start Chariot? So, for some context, how we met, I had cold called into you at Chariot trying to sell you TMS, which didn't work out, but you were cool. As we talked about, you took my call and I demoed the platform for you. But how did that whole thing come about? So you were at the original job from 22 to 27 ish, like you said, and then you decided to start a brokerage. Tell me how that all happened.
yeah, actually, my roommate at the time, Joe, he started the brokerage. I was
Mm,
still at Calvary for 5.5 years.
got it.
And so he was there for a couple years, trying to start a brokerage while I was moving up through the ranks and helping them build their company. And yeah, I had an opportunity to go help him build that company, and learned everything the hard way after that. So yeah, it was really fun. I wore the COO and CTO hat over there, and found a passion for technology, building, trying to create efficiencies for that brokerage. And whether I was purchasing technology or building technology, we built a capacity app over there. I kind of got my passion for technology from the first brokerage I was at. We had a full engineering team. Everything was built in house. I mean,
Really?
it was
Oh, and not at
beautiful. Yeah,
Chariot, not at Chariot,
not a
at
chariot.
Cavalry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So got to see all of that, and really got to see how they built their technology. And I kind of had a hybrid approach at Chariot, where we purchased some technology, built some technology, and through that kind of led me. I felt like the thing that kept coming back to me was integrating with shippers, and there was didn't seem like there was an easy way of doing it. Integrations just kept popping up as a really painful, challenging thing for that brokerage. But felt like for the industry as a whole. And so that kind of led me to thinking about starting a integration platform.
So help me understand a little bit from your perspective. What did that integration process look like prior to you realizing this needs to be fixed? We need to start bitfreighter. But what did it actually look like to you? Like, how long did it take? How did the communication work? Were you missing points of contact? Obviously there were a lot of gaps in what you would consider a good process, which is where bitfreighter comes into play. But kind of paint that picture of what it looked like for me.
For sure. So to be honest, the challenge, the biggest challenge I had with the provider that we used for a little less than a month or so in the beginning was that I couldn't estimate what my charges were going to be because they were all transactionally
Mm,
billed. And so I was really looking for something different. And I did find a tool out there that I installed on my server, and it really wasn't transportation specific. It was more, um, SFTP, like um, just a tool that allowed us to do a few things through EDI connectivity, and it allowed me to do pretty much what I was looking for, which was pay a flat cost and have unlimited transactions. So that worked for a couple of years for that brokerage, and it wasn't scalable. We had a few customers on it, but what I found out was that through that tool, I could solve the problem, and I wasn't handcuffed to some of these bigger players.
sure.
So that's kind of where the idea came from, which was, hey, I think there's some other. I think there are other logistics companies out there that could use some help.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, I was already working with my co-founder Brandon on some other projects over the last couple of years before we started Bitfreighter in 2020, and with COVID hitting, it just felt like an opportunity to kind of step down from running a logistics company to go help solve this problem that I felt like I had maybe figured out, um, and go help other logistics companies solve this really specific problem, helping them connect their companies to shippers. And so I kind of pitched Brandon on the idea, and he has an integration background, healthcare integrations. So it was kind of a beautiful thing that kind of came together overnight, which was, he brought his 20 years of technology experience, and I brought my 12 plus years of brokerage experience to start this very specific integration platform for freight, um, which I have my pool of freight and logistics people that I've been able to bring to Bitfreighter, and he's had his pool of technologists in the integration space
Sure.
that we keep kind of tapping into, and it's been an awesome 4 years.
Yeah. No, it's been fun to watch. So look, I know you guys are doing a lot more than EDI today, and we'll get to that. But before we get there, what makes Bitfreighter different when it comes to EDIs? What do you guys bring to the table that hasn't been seen before? And I'm not asking you to give up your secret sauce, right? But what's your value prop, honestly, right? So, like, when you go to market, what are you selling against? What are you finding ways to differentiate yourselves? And how are you guys finding success with your offering? What is it that kind of is that what I'll say from a sales perspective, that aha moment that you see with your prospects when you guys are going to market?
So we are the only integration platform that solves uh, the four components that we solve, which is we connect logistics companies to shippers, and we solve the four components that you would want to solve when you connect to your shipper, which is quoting, tendering, updates and tracking, which is one, and then invoicing.
Sure.
Those are the four things, and we solve them all under one platform. No other platform is doing that. Whether it's EDI or API, um, you know, the vehicle in which we solve it is through our integrations. So
Sure.
EDI is historically complex and painful, and part of that is how it's been priced in the past. So we launched the company with the idea of unlimited messaging per trading partner. So we charge per trading partner, unlimited volume, and kind of took the
Is it like
idea
a
of like,
monthly? Is it a monthly service?
yeah, it's a monthly
Yeah,
subscription.
cool.
And one of the things that like Verizon did back in the day was they disrupted the, pay per minute cell phone. You
Sure.
checking how many minutes do I have left? How much can I talk, or how many
10 cents per
text messages?
text,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Like all of that stuff. And then Verizon, it's like unlimited, and everybody were like jumping to sign up for Verizon.
Sure.
Um, and so we like to talk about that story and how it kind of relates to our story, which is we're disrupting the space in a way that allows people to scale their businesses through unlimited messaging. But we found out really quickly that people love our single point of contact. Our solutions managers
Mm.
do a phenomenal job
You guys
of
have a
helping
kick-ass
guide.
team, dude. Your team, you guys have some really good people, man. I will say that.
We we have been blessed to be able to hire the best people around the country. We have people in 10 states. We're
Nice.
100% remote, and we don't. We really are focused in on hiring the right people for the right job.
Yeah, no, everyone that I've had interactions with on your team has been impressive to say the least, and I don't say that lightly. Admittedly, a lot of times I'll be like meeting people like, man, really, that's the person you put in that job, and I'm not like calling anyone out specifically, right? But everyone that I've met from the bitfreighter team has been like, damn, I'd hire them if they, if they were working for you and we weren't friends, right? And I'm not trying to steal your employees, but I'm like, damn, that's a good person. I'd love to have them on my team, right? And I mean that sincerely, man.
We try. One of the things so Brandon came from our co-founder and CTO. He came from a place called Cover My Meds, and a lot of our engineers came from there as well. And CMM, they early days, like they talk about all the things that they did right, and they
Mm,
really treated people like adults over there. And it kind of relates back to like how Netflix, Reed Hastings, if you read the book No Rules Rules,
yep,
talks about freedom and responsibility. And like we try to apply all of that to how we run Bitfreighter, and hire adults that you can trust
sure,
to own their job, and do a phenomenal job for our customers, which ultimately leads to happy people. So
sure.
yeah, we're super lucky to have the people we have at Bitfreighter, and honestly, I would say that most of those hires have been opportunistic. I wish I could say I budgeted for them or I planned for it, or like it was part of my master plan, but
Sure,
no, I
sure,
mean, it was just like friends in the space, and like we'll run across somebody and be like, man, that person's awesome. How like, and just by chance they are available,
sure,
or we develop relationships over 3 or 4 years, or past relationships that just kind of it just opportunistically they came available, and
sure.
we're able to get them in on the team.
Sure. That's great, man. So let's kind of switch gears to today. We've been talking a lot about EDI and kind of how this all came to be, but I know Bitfreighter is a lot more than just EDI now, right? You guys have a live quoting tool. You guys do APIs. You guys do all kinds of stuff. So talk to us a little bit about where you guys are today, what's new, where you're going as far as product releases, and how you guys are kind of transforming as a company.
Yeah, so we launched the company as an EDI provider, trying to help just solve that one specific need in the marketplace. And early on, we were approached by Blue Jay, and asked us to create an API pricing tool. And we did. Luckily, we are another opportunistic thing that came our way. So we created and it really aligned with what EDI does, which is tendering, updates, and invoicing. Is like that first step to getting a tender,
Right.
which is quoting. So we have a tool within the Bitfreighter platform, and I think honestly this is why we were a top 25 freight tech company last year, because our platform is the only integration platform that can do both. It can do automated quoting and EDI all under one platform, which
Mm,
they synergy really well together, because we can actually quote a load and then receive the load in real time, and be able to actualize those wins within the platform. So that's really cool. But the live quote tool allows our clients to automate their spot board bidding across a lot of platforms. And then also there's a new thing that's been rolled out over the last 1 to 2 years called real-time rating or instant quote or whatever the flavor of the TMS provider is calling it. But it's a one-time rate that's being requested, and you have to respond within 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds through an automated tool. You can't do it manually.
No,
So
no.
our live quote tool allows our customers to set up individual shipper profiles to set up the rule sets. And then we just released, which we've been marketing at TIA, we released our live quote rules engine 2.0, which is just, we're super excited about. We're rolling out to some of our customers this month and next month. So the rules engine is really the next level in being able to automate your quoting.
So what does the rules engine allow me to do? If I'm a bitfreighter customer, I'm using your live quote tool. You come to me and say, "Hey, Mike, we got this new rules engine. You can do X, Y, and Z." What do you tell me?
Yeah, I mean, it when you think about automating a customer quoting, you and if you're doing it manually, um, you have to be able to do three things. You have to be able to understand the truck price, which we leverage truck price engines for that. We're not a truck
Sure,
pricing engine. Live
sure.
quote, I like to call live quote. It's a quoting orchestration platform. So it orchestrates a bunch of different things together and then sends off the rate. And
Okay.
so um, what the rules engine does is it kind of ties it all together, right? So there's things that you don't want to quote. Maybe there's things that you do want to quote. Maybe,
Mm,
you have produce season coming up. All those things that are up here that, you go talk to a freight
that tribal
specialist.
knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, you go talk to somebody like, tell me what Nashville to Chicago is right now. And some people can tell you like they
And they
know.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff, like it's that relationship that they've developed with their customer that they can plug into a rules engine. It's not a markups page. It's a full rules engine. So,
Got it.
you know, go or no go, stop, all those things that you have to build out in your head, that algorithm that you already have in your head,
Sure,
you can
sure.
build into our tool.
Is it a weekend? Is it after hours? Is it a holiday? Is it
Yeah,
Thursday and there's a storm coming tonight? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's
all that
cool,
good
man.
stuff.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
cool. I'm excited to see that. I don't think I've seen that yet from you guys.
no, we've kept it pretty under wraps. You know, it's trailblazing new technology. It definitely is new, and um, it's really exciting to see a customer that turns it on, and they'll call us up like a week later and like, we won so much freight.
You're like, yes.
Um, yeah, I hope you made money on it, but great job.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Well, hey, let's switch gears again. I wanted to make sure we gave some time to talking about the TIA conference since I don't get to see you often, but I have been lucky enough to see you at the TIA conference the last 2 years and get to spend a little bit of FaceTime, which is always awesome. I've talked to you a little bit about this, and you never attended TIA as a freight broker, even though you have your 12 years as a freight broker. Can you talk to me a little bit about why you didn't? And then the second part of that question is, what would you do differently now that you know what you know about TIA?
Dude, for sure. So I went in 2022 because we landed a big customer and they told me I needed to come and meet with them at TIA. So I bought my ticket like a week and a half before TIA, flew in, met with them for 36 hours and flew back. And while I was there, I got to experience it and it was amazing. Like I was blown away. I was blown away by the culture, the atmosphere, the collaboration, just everything that happens at TIA, and just how well it's done um, was amazing. And I was just sitting there in 22 thinking about, man, I really like missed out on an opportunity to learn, grow, and maybe uh, like not have to learn everything the hard way.
Sure.
When you're growing a business. I mean, there's certain you're still gonna have to, make mistakes and whatnot, but
Sure.
um, I think the TIA is a phenomenal place for brokers to go, founders, operators, whatever you may be in your organization, and go and learn all the new things that are coming, and then um, collaborate with peers about what their challenges are, and see what everybody else is doing, because everybody's dealing with similar things, and I was just really like impressed. So yeah, I did miss out. But as soon as I got back in 22, I called all my broker buddies and I said, "Hey, y'all need to sign up for next year." And they did. A lot of my friends that had never been were there in 23. And I think the reason why we never went was, I mean, the elephant in the room. There's no shippers. Oh
Yeah.
well,
Well, there's no
there's a
potential
few.
customers,
There,
right?
there's a few shippers there, but I mean, for the most part, it's a broker conference, and
Yeah,
so like you're going to learn, you're going to grow, you're going to develop yourself, and meet with fellow peers, and that's sometimes it's hard to justify that in the budget.
totally.
Um, but for anybody that's listening to this that hasn't been, I definitely would recommend going next year. It's a great conference, and it's like you were saying, Michael, it's the Super Bowl of
It is.
broker conferences. So
100%. And to be fair to the mindset that you were just talking about with brokers saying, like, hey, I don't have any potential customers or I'm not going to go. The reason it's so big for us as tech providers is because all of our potential customers and current customers are there. So, like, I don't want to discount that mindset. And from a go to market perspective, that's how my brain works as well. But I honestly think, and hopefully this is true for other companies as well, once you're in the space for long enough, you realize, like, I can't just pound everybody over the head that walks by the booth with my solution and try to sell them something immediately, right? And so you learn and you mature over time, and you try to become more of a servant to the industry. And you have a unique background because you were in your target market space for 12 years before you started selling to it, right? So you understand how to approach it differently than maybe I did. When I came into the space 8 years ago, my first TIA, I'm like, I'm going to sell everyone everything. I'm going to get every business card and set every demo. And that's just not realistic. And so I think for brokers that are listening, what I've noticed is that hopefully, again, the other freight tech companies, I know you guys are like this. It's like, yeah, I'm going to tell you what we do, but I'm going to be more of a guide than someone who's just trying to slam you over the head with my solution and my product. And there's so much collaboration, not just between freight tech providers like you guys and many of our other partners. We see a lot of brokers helping other brokers, right? We see a lot of brokers helping out their competitors, right? Even we talk to other TMS providers at the event that are people that I compete in deals with, and we help each other, right? And so there's this really cool spirit of, kind of like a rising tide raises all boats type of thing. But I have a question for you. So based on, you guys have been to the event for 2 years, do you see a direct ROI in terms of like actual business that you get from the network or referrals from the event?
100%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. It we've left with several new customers, and
Yes.
Bitfreighter's still getting our brand out there, right? Like,
Right.
not everybody knows about us. We're still in the startup mode, trying to raise awareness about what we're doing, trying to help freight brokers, and we're still growing our TMS relationships, which excited excited about our relationship.
Finally, right?
Yeah,
Finally.
4 years later. I mean,
I know.
dude, you were literally my first call when I started
I love
Bitfreighter. I was
that.
like, I remember that conversation. It
I
felt
do
like
too.
yesterday.
I remember it vividly,
Yeah,
very vividly, because we had a pretty cool EDI module that we built out as well. So no, man, I'm excited. So we've got about 5 minutes left. So let's start wrapping this up. I want to give you a few minutes to talk about your guys' upcoming golf tournament. So do you want to plug that real quick?
for sure. Yeah. So golf tournament is our user tournament. It's free for our users to attend August 12th in Nashville at Old Hickory Country Club. Um, we last year was our first year that we did it, and it was an amazing success. It was a phenomenal day. It's a 1-day event. You can fly in, fly out same day. Play. It's a 12 o'clock start, so you can fly into Nashville, and it's an easy place to get to. So, but the big thing about the tournament is that we chose to create kind of a philanthropy around it. We picked ALS. ALS is a terrible disease that doesn't have a cure or a test. My mother-in-law was actually diagnosed with it in 22, and it's been just horrible to watch. But
Yeah.
we we try to make the tournament bigger than just freight tech and
Sure.
golf. And we have a lot of fun at the tournament, but we're also raising money. And hopefully, we wrote ALS a $5,000 check last year. Hopefully, we get to write
Amazing.
them a $25,000 check this year. That's our goal. So we're really, really focused in on raising awareness. We'll get the ice bucket challenges out this summer. It's got to warm up a little bit, but we'll start posting those videos, and we're really excited about that user tournament. So
Awesome, man. So how do people find you, and how do people find more information on the tournament if they want to work with bitfreighter, or at least support a good cause through ALS in the tournament?
yeah, so you can go to you can check it out at check us out at bitfreighter.com. You can always send us an email, sales@bitfreighter.com. You can check out the tournament, bitfreightergolf.com. There's a place to go donate on that, Bitfreighter Golf. So yeah, there's a couple different avenues to get in touch with us. And yeah, I mean, we're really ramping up for an incredible event for that. So
Awesome, man. Well, we're excited to hopefully be a part of it, man. I want to thank you again for coming on the show, and we'll catch up soon, man. Thanks again.
thanks, Michael. Thanks for having me. It's been
Yeah, of
fun.
course. Absolutely, man. All right. Thank you, Brad Perling, again. Thank you for anybody who's listening and solo hosting today. Oh, I just realized you guys can see the new Tesla semi that I have back here. Co-host Cameron got that for me, actually. So that thing's pretty sweet. But on that note, want you guys to know about an upcoming, appearance that Cameron has on Reed from Lost Freight's Discord on May 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific. He is going to be going into the arena, as many other business leaders in our space have done. So that should be a really in-depth, really cool conversation where Cameron is going to really dive deep into who he is, how he got to where he is, and how he became a leader of 3PL Systems. So other than that, I appreciate everybody's time. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.